and girls, welcome back to Watch the Time. Thank you for tuning back in. I appreciate all your support. And now with that being said, this is a watch that I've been waiting to come for a while. Another one that featured on my sale video, but I was aware of this watch again for a little while before it came out. The flagship store was speaking to me and they showed me some early pictures of the lume, the movement and stuff. And I was like, I need to get this in as soon as possible. I got it in as early as I could with postage and stuff, but this watch, for all intents and purposes, looks the business. I've seen a couple of watches from Pagani design now that are doing decent lume, but this lume looks another step above. Is it though? Because obviously pictures and what people tell you are two different things. You guys will know from this point now, I keep it 100 all the time. I'll always tell you the truth. So, is it as good as all that? Because I wanted to know, and if it is as good as it seems it could be, this could be one of Pagani's best watches. There's no doubt in my mind, to be honest, with what they're offering. Not original design, but this is Pagani design, let's be honest. But does it represent as good a value for money as I hoped and wished it would? I'll stop going on because you want to see it, don't you? So with that being said, guys and girls, let's get the camera turned around and get on with it. Hi guys, so this is the watch. Really sorry it's taken so long to get this review out. I ordered this watch, it got lost in the post, but it's finally here. Usual sort of Pagani design packaging, cleaning cloth inside, hang tag at the side. Let me just show you, I've taken out, let me just grab hold of it actually, it might be a lot easier trying to show it down the side. I took out 5 links for it to fit my wrist, so there can be no complaining about how many wrist sizes this is going to fit. Unlike some other brands on AliExpress who are giving shorter and shorter bracelets, Pagani design are not following suit, which is good to see. In a foam, to keeping it safe in transit. Warranty card, instruction manual down the side, none of which is signed. Very, very generic. It's been the same for a long time. But this is the watch. I was really looking forward to this watch being released. I knew about it for some time before, and I was very pleased to get it in. The fact it took so long was very disappointing to me, I must say. But it wasn't the store's fault. It just went missing, so they reissued me another one. So there we are. So this is the PD-1762. This is this is a newer version. I don't know if you call it version 2 or 3 at this point, but they've changed a few things that you'll notice as we run through, and I will highlight them as I go through it as well. Inside this watch, I'll be able to show you a little bit. Up tilt the side. The clasp is slightly different for those eagle-eyed of you. It's running an automatic Seiko NH34 movement. That's what it looks like on the watch. And I'll bring the rest of the information up now. So Seiko NH34 movement, the GMT version of the NH series of movements was released in this last sort of 12 to 18 months. Many people are extremely happy that there's now an affordable GMT movement from a reliable company like Seiko. 24 joules, 21,600 beats per hour, 41 hour power reserve. And this is the third one I believe that I've had in. And again, it's in keeping with its NH brother or sister at this point. They seem to be running pretty bang on time wise. This one's gaining about 7 seconds a day. I've always said I'd much rather my watches gain time than lose it. That's just my opinion, so I can't complain about this. Very, very nice. So yeah, the NH34 movement, also known as the 4R34 when actually in a Seiko watch. So there you go. The construction of the watch, aside from the crystal on the front and back as well as the Cyclops, is all 316L stainless steel. Big degree of brushing and polishing throughout. Brushed bezel as well as obviously numerals. Polished at the sides of the case, brushed at the top of the lugs. Top of the bracelet is brushed and polished at the sides, and that is also in keeping with the clasp also. But yeah, so yeah, nicely done actually. Again, they're finishing on these watches now from Pagani design. It's night and day compared to before, so that's good to see. Let me just open this strap up again, but we'll talk about the strap in a few moments anyway. The case thickness of the watch is 12.2 millimeters. The case diameter, obviously I measure sort of along from the 8 to the 2 position, it comes in at 40.6 millimeters, and when you go from the 9 to the 3, including that crown, obviously when it's obviously screwed up, which it is now, is 43.5 millimeters. The lug width on this is 20. That does taper down to 16 and back up to 18 at that fully milled clasp. And the lug to lug, tip to tip, I'm pleased to say is a true lug to lug, and it's 47.7. And this is another one. This is one of their upgrades in terms of how they've done their female end link. I think that looks really cool. Again, looking nice. and making the length of the watch not too big, which I think is sometimes some of the criticisms of watches that I have, certainly. So there you go, 47.7 millimeters lug to lug. The crystal on the back is a mineral crystal, so you're not getting a sapphire sandwich. Are you getting a mineral sandwich? I think we'll find out. Screwed down, information going around the outer edge of the watch, just highlighting the specs and so on and so forth. Yeah, as you can see, screwed down, as I said, mineral crystal, exhibition case back. The bezel is a fixed brushed bezel, and it's just got 24 hours on there, so you can set the time for GMT, which is extremely handy having that. So you can set the GMT hand, which we'll go through in a moment when obviously we look at the dial. The crown is situated at the 3 o'clock. As you can see, I've not managed at the point of recording to get that last little bit of blue off, in keeping with my success rate. I've tried sellotape, I've tried the lot, guys. Thanks for all these sort of suggestions. I'm just not very good at it, I don't think. But there you go, screw down crown, deep signed on there as well. The strap is a stainless steel. As I said, nice bit of taper on there, brushed at the top, nice satiny brush as well, polished at the sides, screw pins, and it made it very, very easy, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Changing this bracelet out was immensely easy, no problems whatsoever. And the clasp, you will recognize from just that side, but they have now engineered it to be in fully milled clasp. The top and the catch are the same, and now you've got levels of micro adjustment that you can access. So you could just push it in either side and slide it along. Fantastic addition. I'm not saying that I would have gone through that hassle. Maybe they could have just gone for a different type of fully milled clasp, but this does the job. Nice to see a bit of engineering there, and also Pagani, nice to see you're listening. So there we go. Yeah, 3 levels of micro adjustment that can actually be used. Amazing. I know it sounds like I'm being sarcastic. I'm truly not. It's just that on the other clasp it was a bit ridiculous. But there we go. The crystal covering the dial is sapphire crystal. So if you guessed that, you're right. Sapphire crystal on the Cyclops as well. It's cited as being 100 meters of water resistance, so that's 10 atmospheres, also known as 10 bars, as you'll see on the dial, and the weight will appear in the top right. It's just above 136 grams with 5 links out. With those 5 links back in, you're probably looking at around 150 grams, which I grant you is a bit of heft, but you're going to know you're wearing this watch, and yeah, it doesn't look too bad either. But let's have a look at the dial now, guys, in a bit more detail. So, as you'll see, yeah, nice white dial, minute track going around the outer edge. If I undo the crown just for a moment, I'll move the hands to a more suitable position. I have set the hands, or the GMT hand, to be a certain time because I've got friends over in New Zealand. So I've set the time for that at the moment, so I can obviously keep up to date with that sort of thing. But yeah, you can set the time as you like. You'd have seen it hack just a moment ago. The hands and indices are very much the same as before, but the lume is better. Check this out. Far, far better lume than I've ever had on a Pagani design watch. I cannot lie, that is a fact. Is it as good as I was expecting? I'm not sure, to be honest, but it's definitely a step in the right direction with their lume. Can't be bad. As I said, the hands and indices otherwise are very, very much the same. You've got the orange hand for the GMT, but just below the triangle, the inverted triangle at the 12, you've got Pagani design. The logo looks as though it's been applied. Pagani design and script writing underneath is printed, and all the writing above the baton at the 6 is all printed. So it says GMT automatic, water resistance 10 bar or 100 meters. You've got the date window at the 3 o'clock, which is the only place you haven't got a circular baton or a baton making way for the date. You take the crown out, the hands will hack, as I've already mentioned. You put it back in, it will start back up again. You take it out to the first position. If you scroll towards you, you can see you can change the date, no problem. If you want to move it away from you, that's when the GMT hand will skip and you can set it to wherever you wish it to be, and then you put it back in, and then you're back into the position to screw up the crown. And as I say, take it all the way out to the second, it hacks back in, it will start back up again. And the crown, no issues again. They're becoming very consistent now with their sort of details and stuff. So that's the dial, guys. That's the hands, indices, lume, movement. Yeah, let me just pop it on the wrist quickly, give you an idea of what it looks like on my wrist. Okay, my wrist is just above a 7-inch wrist for your reference, and that's what it looks like. I think it's a very, very pretty thing. I did like the other one. The movement and other bits they've made upgrades to has not been lost on this watch. yeah, not bad at all. But yeah, let me just give it a quick wipe, and then we can get on with the things that I think are pants and Pukka. If you've ever watched before, you know I always start with pants. I like to kind of hide with Pukka. So what I think is pants is not a great deal, guys. I'm going to be completely honest. I've been a very harsh critic of Pagani design in the past. That is definitely softening over time because they're definitely making a lot of improvements. But what do I think is pants? The same as what I said on the other version of this watch, the writing on the dial. I would have rather just seen the logo. I know that's not in keeping with everyone's taste. And maybe GMT automatic down at the 3, down at the 6, excuse me. All that sort of writing, it's just too much. I don't want a newspaper on my dial, do you know what I mean? I don't understand why it has to be so much. So that would be the only thing, to be honest. The rest of the watch is cracking. So yeah, the writing on the dial is what I think is pants. What I think is Pukka, much more. Strap yourself in. So hands and indices, I like them on the original, on the version 1, or if you want to call it original of this watch. But yeah, I like it still. Really, really nice, sort of black with the white inside. The movement, NH34 movement, it's going to be a movement many people grow to love and appreciate, given the fact it's reliable and it's affordable, isn't it? So that's what it's all about. The lume, yeah, the lume is a big improvement on the other version, and just generally the lume on Pagani watches. If this is a step in, if this is a sort of sign of things to come, as well as keep moving forward, then yeah, fantastic. The end links, yeah, the way they've done that sort of female end link is very, very nice. I do like that. The modded clasp, as I've already mentioned, the fact that they've taken the time to engineer it in such a way where they're still using the shell, but they've engineered it where it's more functional now and feels much better quality for it. The case back, yeah, the fact they're now going for exhibition case back, which is something that many people have been clamoring for, which means they're listening, which is also good. The finishing, yeah, I've said this a few times now, it's getting a bit ridiculous. The finishing is much, much better, much tighter, crisper than it was previously. And the general look, I do like the general look of this watch. I know it's not an original design, and there's a reason obviously the main watch is done as well as it has, because it looks beautiful. But let me just surmise what I think is Pukka. As you can see, the list is quite substantive. So hands and indices, movement, lume, end links, modded clasp, case back, finishing, and general look are what I think is Pukka. And would I recommend this watch? Of course, like it's getting to a point now where Pagani design are almost over the problems they had, because they are making so much better noise. I know they don't make original design watches, but the watches they're making now are completely different to what they were making before, night and day. And I think for me, this is the best and most complete watch I've had from Pagani design. So I'd have to recommend this watch wholeheartedly. But guys and girls, please let me know what you think about this watch, and maybe any other watches you may want to see on the channel. And as always say, don't forget to like, subscribe, and always watch your time. Take care, guys. All the very best.